is a volunteer that has served in various capacities in various organizations, locally and internationally. He is expert in technology. He served as director of operations for Kobo, and with his skills in accounting, was an investment banker at JP Morgan, New York, USA. He is a CEO and an entrepreneur who has also served as president of Farinola Global, with branches in USA, China, Germany, and Nigeria. Mr. Abiakam will be represented by engineer Arinze, Abiakam, who is the founding partner of Kobo. He obtained a Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering from the University of Central Oklahoma, California. He has worked as Vice President of Operations in Trans-American Global, Oklahoma. He is a senior infrastructure consultant in Cognizant Technology Solutions in California and is currently the head of operations in Kobo, Lagos, Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together for
So hello, Arinze, hi, Abiakam. I want to talk about three things that I want to do. So first of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, so that you know who's welcome to me. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about our company, Kobo. Then finally, I'm going to talk about, I think my company is a skill of my ability. Hello. So, I got my bachelor's in engineering at the University of Central Oklahoma, biomedical engineering. So, obviously, I didn't practice that. And the reason is because in life, you're not employed because of what you know, you're employed because of what you can do. Right? So what you can do is what you're employed. So, it was weird for me when I was going to engineering. I had to work because I was told in the United States I had to work. And all the work I did, I worked with computers. So by the time I graduated engineering, I had no experience with computer and software than I had in medical engineering. So it was easier for me to get a job. As I think my first job, I was a technician for Dell computers. So it was easier for me to get a job in Dell than it was for me to get a job as a medical engineer. And that's how my technology career started. So I worked for Dell, I worked for Seagate. Seagate Technologies makes 70% of all the hardware in computers, laptops, desktops. They make all that. Portable products, USB products, Seagate that makes it. And of course, we also build computers. And then after that, I started a couple of companies called Trans-American Global. We did logistics, we did tech consulting. And then after that, I moved to California where I worked as a senior construction engineer for a company called Cognizant. They're the third largest global business and tech consulting firm in the world. So I guess you're wondering what Kobo is. Joshua touched on it. But Kobo is basically a platform. I guess the easiest way to understand it, even though we don't like to brand it that way, most people here know Kobo, right? So because I was also part of the team that built Kobo was doing about 1 trip a day when we came. And then 6 months later, I think they were doing like 700 trips a week, something like that. So we still do about, I don't know, maybe 1,000%. So, and then after that, like, we had always, before we came back, we had always wanted to be in logistics, because I was in logistics also in the United States. So we always wanted to be in logistics. So he left Kobo and we all left, and then we started Kobo. So what is Kobo? Kobo is that same concept of aggregating supply and demand, and that's in the logistics industry. So we want to aggregate the supply in the logistics industry and the demand. The supply is all the people that own trucks. Because right now, the way things work in Nigeria in logistics is basically, if you have a truck, you don't even know where your jobs come from. Sometimes it's your driver that tells you, oh, there's something to be hiring from Lagos to Abuja, and you don't know the amount of money sometimes. You also use your driver that controls everything. But these trucks that we're talking about, could you guys put up the front page to Kobo 360, please? Is it possible? The front page. You can. Okay. But these trucks that we're talking about, these are their assets, right? One of these trucks, I think they use one cost about 7-8 million. There's some used one that cost 10-15 million. New ones cost 2-15 million. So now, if you're someone who has that kind of money and you buy that kind of equipment, right? You can't leave that kind of money in the hands of one driver. Today, he's telling you he's in a bar, but he has actually not in a bar. He has gone to a bar, carried goods, and he's gone somewhere else. It's not good return on investment. You're not getting a good return on investment for that kind of money. So what our company does is we have aggregated the supply, which is we capture as many trucks as we can, right? We don't own any of the trucks, we just aggregate them on the platform. And then we aggregate the demand. The demand is all the jobs that are out there. Because there's also a problem, right, with people who have loads to carry. Like if you're, like our company, we work with flour mills, Holland, right? If you're a big company like that, let me give you a number. I think last month, flour mills in Nigeria, which is probably one of the oldest companies in Nigeria, I think it's over 100 years, they could not meet their logistics demand at 50%. That means that 50% of the goods they manufacture, they couldn't get it to the customer. Doesn't make any sense. That means they're losing 50% of their revenue. It doesn't make any sense. So they also have a gap, is that they need trusted logistics providers. They need trusted transporters, right? So that's what we do. We're helping them, who is the demand, who have this load. We're helping them find trusted logistics transporters who own these trucks, they own good trucks.
I had to Google it myself. The dictionary meaning of excellence is the quality of performing outstandingly or extremely well. That's what excellence is. So I'll come back to that. Now, for the skills that you need to be employable in this, not just in Nigeria, in this new world that we live in this new world of software, right? If you're in technology, you have to be a programmer. Really very simple. You have to know how to program. If you say you're going to be in technology, you have to know how to program. If you say you're going to be in media, you have to know about graphic design, right? You have to know how to make your web pages. You have to know how to, even people who want to succeed on Instagram now, why do you wonder, like, I always used to ask you, why do you wonder when you look at the people who have like 2 million followers on Instagram, right? Their pictures are always different from your own and my own, Abi. Why? You think it's because they have a powerful camera, yes, but they actually learn the skill of how to make their pictures look better. They learn the angles, they did that. And their videos, their tutorials on how to do that. So what am I telling you is that you have to teach yourself that. You have to learn it. It's hard work, but it's hard work that pays off, right? You have to learn programming, whether it's C#, Java, I can start naming them, Ruby on Rails, all these things, right? Learn it. Why? Because all these things we're talking about, artificial intelligence, right? Somebody still has to program the artificial intelligence for the artificial intelligence to be artificial and learn intelligence. Somebody has to do it. And if the machine breaks down, somebody has to fix it, right? And there's so much opportunity in a place like Nigeria. In a place like Nigeria, like everywhere I go, and that's why I brought up. That's why the skill that you need the most to succeed and be employable, not just in Nigeria, right, is excellence. And I'll explain. That's the skill that you need the most. At least in my experience, is the skill that you need the most. Yes, you can be a very good programmer. You can be a wonderful designer. You can be like you can have good money and your parents, whatever, right? But the skill you need to succeed most is excellence. When I was younger, I used to think like people who were excellent were just excellent. They were born that way. Because I want to go to when I was in primary school, like it was easy for me to pass out. So I always thought that, oh, okay, some people, there's that person that's always coming first. That is because they are smart, right? But in secondary school, you notice there were some people who, if me, my secondary school uniform, it was a white shirt on top, right? There are people who their shirt was always white and ironed. Abi? Even at the end of the day, when you have played, their shirt will always be white, right? Do you know why? Because they have an excellent spirit. Now, some people are born that way, but it's actually a skill that can be learned, right? If you allow me to borrow something from the Bible, it's in the book of Daniel. It said, Daniel found favor with, I think, the king, because he had an excellent spirit. So now, how do you learn that skill of excellence? Because you just assume that guy that got 5 A's or that guy that did 2-1, it's because he was smart, his father is smart. That's true, but also you can learn that skill. That's something I actually found out later in life, that you can learn the skill of excellence. How can you learn it? It actually it's actually quite simple, but it requires discipline. And what is it, right? Always strive to do best that you can, given the information available to you. Is my time? Always strive to do the best that you can. So if you can't always strive, that's how you become excellent, right? Always, if you finish work, just look at it and like, is this the best that I can? You start innovating. You start figuring out, oh, okay, well, the goal was to get from point A to point B. Am I at point B? Okay, if I'm at point B, if moving me to point C, is that going to make it? That's how innovation happens. Innovation doesn't happen because Mark Zuckerberg was smart. No, it happens because he kept thinking about, right? Because the people that we are, it starts from our value system. Our principles and our behavior start from our value system. What is it that you value? So if you value that idea or that ideology of always doing the best I can, given what is available to me, you find out that you actually become innovative. Okay, if I'm going to the island now, I can stand there and wait for a bus that will take me to the island and wait, or so I can take keke from here to here, and then that one will take Okada from here to here, and then before you know it, you get there before someone that took an Uber. Is that not so? That's what I mean by learning the skill of excellence. And that's really the point I want to make, is that the one skill that you need to have to be employable anywhere, because Joshua just told you, we live in a global society anymore, right? Whether you know it or not, you're in competition with Chinese people. You're in competition with Silicon Valley people. You're in competition with Middle Eastern people who have oil money. Whether you know it or not, right? And because of technology, it's actually the playing field is not as uneven as it used to be before. Because you can literally learn everything on Google. Like everything. I even found that there's classes like Harvard classes is on Google, like actual life classes in Harvard University and MIT. They're on Google. So I read a story on Quora about I think some guy who went through the entire 4-year course of some university in the US, and he never attended the school. He just kept finding the classes and the books and what the professors notes, and he went through the entire course, right? So what I'm telling you is that do this better. I want to do this faster. How can I do? That's why Facebook is where it is. That's why every 6 months Apple will release a phone, and then Samsung will release one every 2 months, because Samsung saw that Apple was releasing a phone every 8 months. They decided to start releasing phone every 2 months. That's how the world works. That's how the world works, right? And if you're wondering about, okay, what can I be employed with, or how do I get a job, right? I think you should worry about how you can be the very best at whatever it is that you're doing. If you're a programmer, if you're in media, if you're in advertising, if you're in digital computing, whatever, right? Because what happens is, the more you become better at what you're doing, right, you start seeing gaps in the world around you. You start seeing gaps in the industry, right? It's a skill that you have to build also. Like even while I'm here, like I didn't go to school in Unilag, but let me ask, how's the network inside campus? It's bad. It's bad. So I know it's bad because when I came, it took a while for my phone to connect. That's why I asked. So that's the problem that you can fix. How can you fix it? How you can actually fix it? This thing that gives you, let me just give you one tidbit. This thing that gives you network connectivity on your phone, right? is actually a modem. It's a small modem, or it could be a router, right? So you can boost the power of that. So basically, in your dormitory, you can buy data, right? And buy a modem booster, right? And program it so you make a gateway. When you make a gateway, that's where the original signal comes from. And you put a boost for politicians to fix problems. Technology fixes problems. So this is what I challenge you, is key into this mindset of what, figuring, like if something, like if you're going somewhere or you're doing something and if something bothers you, if you don't like the way, if something made you uncomfortable, if something made you unsatisfied or dissatisfied, right? Don't brush up that feeling, right? Engage that feeling, find out what it is. Why? Because it could be a problem that you can solve and then make money from. That's how you change the world. So that's my challenge to you, is look around you. Look around, like I just came back, I've been in the north for like 4 weeks, right? So I've been touring the whole north and it was crazy some of the insights that I got, right? You know, when you're in Lagos, you don't realize, I think the whole of Nigeria is basically like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, some parts of the east. Everywhere else is like a village, everywhere else, I'm not kidding. Everywhere else. But just 5 or 6 Lagos, Kano, Zaria, the rest. So, but there are people living there, those people have needs, those people have, they buy goods, all these things. Those people, instead of going away, those are opportunities that we can tap into to bring solutions to them. Like now, like I was in Kogi State, there was no network anywhere. But I was looking around, there was Okada, there was like bikes everywhere. So already my mind went into, right, this same thing that I told you, right? I was like thinking, oh, we should just make that, right? And then you partner with all the people that, not the Okada riders, but the people that make the bikes, right? And then you can just attach that small to the bikes, so that every bike that is sold around there will have, it just be about this big, right? But what does it do? It boosts network connectivity. You can make billions of dollars from doing that. That's an opportunity. This idea I gave you is actually, it actually came from Microsoft did an idea something like 5 years ago where they were telling people to come up with ideas on how to fix problems. One of the ideas somebody came up with another idea of putting that inside soccer balls, because a lot of people play football all over third world countries. And so these things I'm telling you, they are things that are doable, they are workable, they are things that you can implement today. And you can solve problems and also make quite a bit of money and success doing that. So I challenge us, I encourage us to not run away from our problems, but actually run towards them. Right? Because that's where, in those challenges, is where your excellent spirit will manifest itself. So thank you for listening to me. I wish you good luck.